guys have a...
To the back of...
Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to Road Atlanta here in Braselton, Georgia, for our week of V8 Supercars America's Action. And as always, we are here presented by V8s Online. I'm JD Smith. With me is Kane Kraft, and we want to let you know that tonight's broadcast is brought to you in glorious HD by V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and the always incredible V8s Online Superstore. JD Smith once again for you guys, and I have Kane Kraft right here with me. Kane, I'm so happy to be back here to broadcast here at the home track here at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, I knew today was going to be a little extra exciting because it is your home track. You know it so well. But more than that, these cars do so great here. It's a great track for the V8 Supercars, and the drivers seem to really like it. So I think we're going to see some exciting racing today.
Yeah, it's going to be very intense. 35 laps around Road Atlanta. I believe it's a little bit longer stretch than we ran when we came here to Braselton, Georgia last season. And one thing that I love here, 12 intense turns, but you know I say it every time we come here, Kane. To me, it's got one of the best finishing sectors in any road course in the world. I love the way this track ends. It always makes for some exciting finishes where we literally can have guys on their lids coming to the finish line if it gets intense. We've seen it before, and you never know what you're going to see when you come to Road Atlanta. That's why they hold so many great events there throughout the season. Anything from even the oval guys even try to come get a good race here, Kane, to the Petit Le Mans comes as well. And, of course, we have the V8 Supercar America Series here in the virtual world today. Can't wait to get this thing underway. And we're coming to you a lot closer to race time today because we are so excited to get to racing. We just didn't want you guys to have to wait. We're going straight to the action here in just a moment. One thing about tonight's race, though, Kane, is it's going to be 35 laps from a standing start. And that's going to definitely be interesting because, you know, as I do, we're going to have pit stops here. We're going to be looking for a pit window here. Pit stops can come as early as lap 10, or even earlier if some guys really want to try to stretch it. But the latest we should see anybody hitting the pit road here at Road Atlanta this week, Kane, will be around the 23rd lap. Around lap 23, 24, guys are going to be cutting it way too close on fuel with the max 19 plus gallons in the V8 Supercar. So look for that to be very important tonight, as all the guys should be making their way through pits by lap 23, 24.
Yeah, pit stops always add a little something extra to the race, and it always makes it just that little bit more exciting. Gives other drivers a little chance to catch up. Some drivers seem to be able to catch a few seconds in the pits, and as we've seen with drivers like Chad Chastain, the last couple pit stop races he's seemed to lost just a few seconds in the pits. So we'll keep an eye on that tonight and see who seems to be the best in the pits.
Yeah, it's going to play a big role, a very huge role tonight. Going to have some very exciting things happen. Of course, we were at the always fun Watkins Glen last week, one of the United States' most cherished racetracks and one of the racers' favorite tracks in all of racing in the world. And it definitely did not disappoint last week. We had an outstanding field. And Chad Chastain showed us again why he owns that place. He literally just ran away with the race again and just showed us why he is so awesome there. It really was impressive. We had Bo Cattell, who battled with him for quite some time. And but in the end, it was all Chad Chastain at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, that was the second time we've seen Chad get off to an early start and just lead the thing for the entire time. And that's what he did right from the beginning. He got a good jump and just kept it in the lead for the entire race. It was a great race, and I think we'll see a pretty similar race to that tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of different type of racing as we were extreme speed and high speed corners at Watkins Glen. Today is going to be a lot different. We have the famous S curves here at Road Atlanta. We also have a very, very tight chicane here. And we're going to have two really exciting passing zones here at Road Atlanta, where one is being, of course, the humongous backstretch area here. I like to call it the back straight here at Road Atlanta. It's extremely long, has some very high speeds there, but other than that, this circuit has a lot of tight turns there. And the other passing zone that we're probably going to see a lot of passing it is, believe it or not, is going to be through the S's. I've seen it before, and you don't think of that as being a passing zone, but it can actually be an advantage to a driver. If the driver in front of you makes just the tiniest error there, you really have enough space to make a move there, Kane. It can be really fun. We've seen it. I know when I had a chance to call one of the races last season and the Proto GT guys were here, they had to pass. They had no choice with the prototype cars being so much faster than the GT2 cars. It was real exciting. But here with all the V8 supercar action, the guys are warming up. We'll be gridding real soon. I want to go ahead and talk about that grid if we can, Kane. Guess who's back for this week's action at Road Atlanta? That's right, on the pole it will be John Emerson in the Good Time V8 supercar, and my goodness, how fun is this to have him back. Lots of great action as that is your pole sitter. Once again, John Emerson in the good game, not good time. It's going to be a good time for him if he races like the pole. But good game, Ford Falcon right there for John Emerson. In second place will be Corey Preston in the HPR Ford. It's good, very good qualifying results. He had a great race last week as well. Starting third in the Dayco Ford will be Marlon J. McMullen. And then back in fourth in the Kamikaze Ford, it will be Mark Anderson. Nigel Baines in the SDC Motorsport Ford Falcon will be starting in the fifth spot, rounding out our top five drivers. In sixth and on the outside of row three will be Kurt Stenberg. He's been extremely fast in his Dayco Ford Falcon as well. Michael Fulcher will be starting in the seventh position with eighth place going to Dale Anish. Michael Schreier is going to be in the ninth position, starting with on the outside of that fifth row being Jake Burton in 10th. 11th is going to go to Chris Bowen, and then Martin Carroll, Team SDC Motorsports, will be in 12th with Stuart Denton, the Xbox One Ford, rounding out our 13-car field. So, Kane, I'm going to turn things over to you. The guys are gridding right now as we speak, and it is time. Let's get this thing going. I'm going to turn it over to you, and as we love to do, let you turn us green. Whoa, got a swirly start off at the beginning for the Kamikaze machine right there. Right on the outside of Marlon McMullen was Mark Anderson there, getting a little shaky on the back end. He gets off just fine right now, just on the outside of Nigel Baines, and then another Kamikaze car right there as well. Nigel starting in the fifth position. See if he's able to hold on, as he's down in a rough spot right now and finally able to get in line there. He's going to have to settle in right behind the other Kamikaze driver of Michael Fulcher. Now that was a great jump off the get-go for Michael Fulcher, Kane, as Michael started in the seventh position all the way up to the fifth spot already. As the cars come through, the S's head up through the hill and now through this double 90-degree right-hander here. Very tough. This is the long straightaway we were talking about. And right now, John Emerson on a very good start. He is out to a nice size lead. It's not I apologize. Corey Preston is in the lead. John Emerson is trying to hold off Marlon J. McMullen at the moment. And as they head down toward the chicane here at the bottom of the hill, very tough spot to get down. These V8 supercars are very tough to slow down, and coming down that hill. These things are heavy and tough to slow down. Right now, Corey Preston in the HPR Falcon will lead the first lap here at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, we got John Emerson not too far behind, and Marlon McMullen not even close to Marlon McMullen close to behind John Emerson. So we do got a close race up here in front, and I do think John Emerson will be showing Corey Preston it's a pretty big car in the rearview mirror here before too long.
Well, you know, we had John Emerson starting on the pole, and he lost that position as Corey Preston really put down just a fantastic performance on the start.
Corey told us a couple races ago that he's really good on the starts, and he definitely showed that today as he really got a great jump off the start.
Yeah, right now I think John Emerson is going to have to, he's kind of midway between the two. Marlon McMullen, you know, the defending champ here in the V8 Supercar America Series, right now in the third position. He needs another great finish. He did a really good job at Watkins Glen last week, but after the way his bumpy start to the season came and then an absent week, he really needs another good result here at Road Atlanta. We talked to him at the conclusion of last week at Watkins Glen, and we had a little talk with Marlon, and he mentioned how important this track was to his schedule. It's one of his favorite spots, and happy to be here. So let's keep an eye on the gold and black Dayco Ford Falcon as he attacks this race. He's got his hands full right now with Michael Fulcher there in the Kamikaze Ford right on his tail.
That's closer to the back of the pack. Back in 10th position, we got Jake Burton really putting the pressure on to try to take over that 9th position. And
boy, he just did.
Is that Sanjin that just got off the track there?
Yeah, he had to get out of the way. Going through the S's right now, Sanjin Delilik trying to stay on the room right on his bumper. He's got worries right now with Marty Carroll on his tail. And Sanjin Delilik.
That's actually Dale Niche.
That's Dale Niche,
yeah,
Sanjin's
teammate
there, buddy. That's all right. I was following the lead there. You tell me, I believe you.
Well, it looks like Sanjin. It looks just like his car, so.
Right now, Jake Burton trying to hold off Dale Niche, and Dale's trying to get his spot back. He was up there a moment ago. Get a little bit of contact between the two cars coming out of the right-hander there on turn 6 and 7 here at Road Atlanta. Turn 7 is very important here, Kane, as it leads to this extremely long back straight here. It's the number 1 passing zone on the track. Look for it to be huge. Now Marty Carroll's got a little company on his tail as well with Chris Bowen there in the number 11 HPR Ford. Checking back up on the front pack, it is a 4-way race for the lead. Really a 2-way race at the moment, though, as Corey Preston and John Emerson still going nose to tail right now. John Emerson doing everything he can to catch Corey. It's going to be extremely difficult for him to get a pass, so it's going to really come down to pit strategy here probably for this. I'm not saying that John Emerson can't make the pass because the guy is extremely dangerous and extremely fast, but Corey Preston has just been just as fast as him here so far. And Road Atlanta can be such a tough place to pass. You know, you really have to kind of rely on a good strategy, but he's gaining on him little by little here, Kane.
Yeah, I see a little bit of internet connection coming from Corey Preston there too, and that can make it a little difficult to pass because you're going to be a little bit weary getting too close to a car that's blinking in and out because you don't want to get into their position whenever they're blinked out and then them end up coming back and being right in your bumper and cause a pretty big accident.
I'm glad that you brought that up, Kane. If you remember last week, we had a connection issue all the way around the track. We even had it with our broadcast. And but we really had a strong one with Bo Cattell, and it actually ended his race. It was very, very, very unfortunate for him as he was in the 2nd position, and then the connection issues hit, and they hit hard, Kane. He ended up having to leave the race, and it was just unfortunate for Bo Cattell. He's absent this week from the top split race here on, on the big Friday night here in the United States, and we miss Bo, but I'm sure he'll be back next week on the meetings. On the other hand, we are happy to have John Emerson back here in this race, and right now he's still attacking, but Marlon J. McMullen has left Mark Anderson in the dust back there in P4, and now Marlon J. McMullen is trying to catch up to John Emerson to have a 3-way battle for this lead.
Yeah, he is reeling them in. I don't know if maybe John's holding back just a little bit because of the blinking car, and so might be slowing their lap times down just a little bit, or maybe Marlin's just really picking up the pace. Maybe he's getting back into the draft and starting to really close in, but anyway, Marlin is reeling them in.
And as we keep an eye on things to come, we must remember about what we talked about right before the race started. 35-lap race here at Road Atlanta. Very, very important race in the season already. Things can, get out of hand in a hurry here if you're not careful. And one of the things that I love about this track is it obviously is my home track, but I love the racing here. It always is good. And if you've ever been able to drive on this track, it's just an extremely fun track to drive on. It's just got a little bit of everything here.
Something to mention about the track today is that it's pretty warm out today as far as the track temperatures. The ambient temperatures in the 70s and the track temperatures at 100 degrees. There's little to no wind today, at less than 1 knot of wind. So wind's not going to play a part at all with these drivers, but yeah, the track temperature may.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And, that makes a humongous difference when you have the track temperature and things like that. So keep that in mind, and we'll keep a close eye on everybody right now.
Kurt Stenberg's looking to make a move on Michael Fulcher, getting back into the 6th and 7th positions.
And just want to make sure that everything is still going good with the broadcast. Right now, Michael Fulcher has his hands full with Kurt Stenberg in the Dayco Ford Falcon. These guys riding really tight right now. Also, the Darrell Lee Ford right there as well of Michael Schrayer. Now, we know Michael Schrayer definitely has the talent to be up here in this top 5, and he's had a great run so far in the season so far. But how about Nigel Baines up there in the number 7 tonight? And Nigel Baines, Team SDC Motorsport. It's a great looking vehicle right there. And he is attacking right now, fixing to catch up to the 4th place car of Mark Anderson. It's a little ways up, but as he is solo right now, has nobody to really slow him down. He can actually catch these guys if he has a chance.
Yeah, Nigel Baines has really been smoking lately. He's in the Australian splits on Monday nights. He took at least one of those wins this week, I think 2. And he's just really been having a good season. I know in the Australian splits he's up there in the top 13 in points. I think he might have even made it up to 10th. I'm not quite sure on that, but he's doing really well this season.
So far, so good here on lap 8 of 35 here at Road Atlanta. Week 4 here in the V8 Supercar Americas Series, the top split, the best of the best for the Americas Series.
Something
and
to mention real quick,
exciting.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Corey Preston has fallen back to 3rd as John Emerson and Marlon McMullen have gotten around. It looks like Mark Anderson is catching up pretty quickly now as well.
And there's John Emerson leads the race now. He has a nice size lead as well, Kane. Corey Preston must have had something hit pretty good. Marlon McMullen now on his way to try to catch up to our leader.
Yeah, now that John's got in the lead, he has really taken off. He's get a time on him. He's put 1.5 seconds between he and Marlon McMullen. And then another almost a second back to Corey Preston from Marlon McMullen.
And here we have it. We're getting right to that point. I do want to mention something happened to Dale Niche, Kane. He is a lap down and currently off track at the moment.
Well, we seen him having some pretty big troubles there a few laps ago when he got passed by a couple cars. Seemed like once he got passed by a couple, he went back a little ways. Maybe he got a little, I don't know, his concentration got a little off, and maybe he had an off track or something. Maybe I can look here and see if he had an off track.
Oh, yeah, it's at the end of lap 7 for him. He was slowing down going into the chicane, and that is very odd, Kane. I want to say he had a connection issue because the car literally went straight, never tried to turn anything straight into the wall. It almost looked like he hit the accelerator, and that has definitely evidence of some type of connection issue when that happens, when you just see a car go straight into the wall. Obviously, he wouldn't do that on purpose, so I think that's what it was, but it was definitely on the end of his 7th lap. If you're trying to find it here, can help the location. Nigel Bain still holding it down in 5th place, but has a 3-car train right there behind him. Those of Michael Fulcher, Kurt Stenberg, and the always fast Darrell Lee Ford Falcon of Michael Schraer. And they got a new guy joining them back there. How about Jake Burton? We talked about him a little bit earlier in his Dayco Ford. The blue and black Dayco is moving up. He had a good battle earlier, and now he's moving on up pretty nicely. Another driver that is making his way on up as well, Marty Carroll, has moved up a few positions as well, as he was down in 12th, now up in the 10th position at the current time.
I'm showing Marty in 12th in the pits.
Yeah, he is now. That was right before the pits. He had moved up there for a second. And it is that lap 10. I talked about that being possibly the earliest that we would see guys start to pit. And there it is right there, Kane. Marty,
yep,
one of the first
right
to take advantage. Yep, one of Marty's being one of the first to take advantage of the pits and getting that done earlier. It'd be fun to see. I'm sure he'll have plenty to make it to the end. Plus, Marty's a good driver at really saving his tires, saving fuel as well. Be really fun to see him and how he can work this race. He's back in 12th at the moment, but we'll see if the early pit will help him gain in this race.
Right now we got Michael Schraer really looking up on the bumper of Kurt Stenberg. He keeps getting right up there, looking like he's going to tuck a nose in and try to make a move, and then we see him kind of back off a little bit. So not quite sure if he wants to give it a try or not. Pretty comfortable just riding along there in 8th place.
Well, this started out as a two-way car battle between Michael Fulcher and Kurt Stenberg. Then we saw the added car of Michael Schraer, which we just mentioned right there. And now we have Jake Burton, who is coming into the picture pretty quickly. He is starting to sneak his way in there as well. It's going to be a 4-car battle here soon, the way these guys are racing at the current pace. Really fun to watch.
Mike Fulcher's teammate, Mark Anderson, has now caught Corey Preston, and we'll probably see him trying to make a move on Corey before too long, as he's right in the mirror of Corey.
Boy, I'm really worried about Corey Preston. I was hoping that his internet issue would kind of taper out a little bit. It still seems to be present, and that can be very scary. It's like we talk about in just like we had an issue with Big Racer in the NASCAR iRacing Series race, well, Wednesday, Kane. It can happen to even the best racers. The internet connections are like an engine failure here in the sim world, and can really just be just as devastational as an engine failure.
There's my favorite new word.
Boy, right now, look at Corey Preston being followed by Mark Anderson through the S's right now. Maybe we should go on board with Mark Anderson, Kane. That would be good here as we're heading down this lap through the conclusion of the lap here. We got still about halfway to go. And if you go on board, you're looking through Mark Anderson, you're looking ahead there at Corey Preston, who started on the outside pole and then moved out to the lead. Now he's fallen back a little bit. You actually see his car grab a little bit off track there for a moment. Now he just made it through turn 7. This is the long straightaway here at Road Atlanta. This is a big passing zone. If you can get a really good jump out of that backstretch, you can really catch the draft right here. And if you're close enough, this is where the passes usually happen. The bad side is you have to be very aggressive down this hill. Not an easy place to stop these V8 supercars. They're very heavy. The downhill speed and weight is very hard on these brakes. Over the top of the hill, this is the final turn here at Road Atlanta. And here you see Mark Anderson making his way down pit road. That was a good onboard view there to watch Mark head down pit road. It really shows kind of tough place to get down pit road. I'm hoping everything goes good for Mark here in the pits. Very important stop. We also have another HPR car heading. It's Chris Bowen in the number 11 machine right now. His HPR is heading down pit lane as well. Boy, that Michael Fulcher battle is still heating up. Kurt Stenberg in the Dayco Ford trying to get around the Kamikaze KRT machine of Michael Fulcher. This is bumper-to-bumper action, Kane. Heading through turn 6 now, through 7. This is going to be a good opportunity for Kurt Stenberg if he can utilize this draft down this straightaway.
Yeah, this could be the opportunity that he's been looking for. Seems like he's awful close now.
And Nigel Baines has moved up into the 4th position, Kane. He was in 5th, but he's moved up into the 4th spot at the current moment. And he's just been riding solo. I'm trying to keep an eye on Nigel's times to see if he's going to be able to climb up there and battle with the front men. Some of the guys like Corey Preston, who would be next. And Corey Preston's last lap was a 123.48. We look at Nigel, who's behind him, a 123.26. 2/10 faster on that last lap. Still plenty of laps to go. We're not quite halfway yet. Almost there, but not quite. So still plenty of time for Nigel to climb up in there and try to find himself on the podium this week at Road Atlanta. As we check in on the leader, John Emerson is still quite in the lead. He's got a little over a 3.5 second lead over Marlon J. McMullen, the defending champion here in the V8 Supercar America Series. Right now, John Emerson going through the bottom hill chicane, over the hill and to the sweeping right-hander towards the start-finish line. Beautifully done, and a super fast lap for John Emerson. A 122.28, Kane. Extremely fast lap for John Emerson. And that is just going to increase his lead to almost 4 seconds now. Just call him Butter because he's on a roll.
That was a good one. I was laughing, but I didn't have the button pushed.
That's all right.
Kind of left you hanging there. Sorry about that.
Oh, gotta have some fun here on these shows, man. Gotta love some Road Atlanta, though. Right now, like I said, John Emerson, he's quite alone. Marlon McMullen currently on his tail in 2nd. Back in 3rd, Corey Preston in the high-powered racing Ford Falcon. Still holding it down in 3rd, and the connection issue seems to have calmed down quite a bit. So very good news for Corey, who has had an incredible past week or so, and he's carrying it in here to Road Atlanta. So we wish the best of luck to him in his high-power racing machine. Back in the 4th position right now is Michael Fulcher of the KRT Kamikaze Racing Team, and it's good to see Michael Fulcher up, as looks like Nigel Baines has went back to make a pit stop, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it looks like he's got his pit stop out of the way.
Awesome. So then right behind...
20.3 seconds on his pit stop, which is a little slower than the other guys who's taken there. So I'll be anxious to see how that plays out.
Yeah, we're going to need...
quite a bit of variation so far in everybody's pit stops. We got Chris Bean, who's at 17.5 seconds. Marty Carroll at 16 seconds. And Mark Anderson at 14.9 seconds, while Nigel Baines at 20.3. So pretty good variation there.
You know, I heard something that was very interesting, Kane. You know, this is sim racing, and somebody brought up the point about the pit times and how does the iRacing simulator determine the pit stop times. I mean, obviously, they're not all the exact same, or we would have the same times.
But you've really got a lot of variance in your entrance speed and your exit speed out of the pit lane, and then you've also got your out lap as you come out the lap after your pit. So all those things get figured into how well your pit stop is. I think it probably changes the tires all at the same rate and fills the car at the same rate, but so many other things vary.
What I was going to tell you is, buddy, is that is humongous what you just mentioned, all very humongous in recording the total time. But I'm talking about, I was going to tell you that I found out how iRacing gets our actual time, the actual 16 point whatever, the actual total pit time. It is actually how good the drivers stop and center up in their boxes will get their actual pit time. Now, of course, if they get a 2-tire versus 4-tire or this amount of liters of fuel, but if 2 drivers are going to get 4 tires and fully fill up the car with the exact amount of fuel, if one car gets a perfect pull-in and one car gets a little bit too far to the right or to the left or a little diagonal, they will have a slower stop than the more center stop. And that is based off of the realistic idea that a better pull-in for the driver will get the crew to the car faster. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is awesome information there, JD. I didn't know that, so I'm glad you found that out. I've been wondering that myself, so great job.
Yeah, I just had overheard some of the drivers talking about that the other day, and I didn't know that at all. I was like, wow, that's really interesting, and it's a good idea. It definitely makes a lot of sense. Well, here we are, guys, about halfway through our race here at Road Atlanta. Right now, it looks like we have Dale Nish, who is out of the race, unfortunately. But I'll do a rundown of everyone else. Everybody else still on the lead lap. How about that? On the lead lap, of course, in first place is John Emerson in the good game Ford Falcon. In second place, your defending champion here in the V8 Supercar America Series. That is, of course, Marlon J. McMullen in the Dayco Ford Falcon. Back in third right now and hoping for a podium finish. He's now in the pits. It's the HPR Falcon of Corey Preston. Back in fourth, it's Michael Fulcher. In fifth, rounding out the top 5, it's Jake Burton. In sixth right now, Michael Schreier in the Darrell Lee Ford Falcon. He's currently in sixth with Stuart Denton in the Xbox One machine. In seventh, Mark Anderson, another kamikaze driver, back in eighth with Nigel Baines of Team SDC in ninth. Rounding out our top 10 at the moment is Kurt Stenberg. He currently rides in 10th. Marty Carroll, another SDC Motorsport team driver, is back in 11th with Chris Bowen in rounding out the 12 car field remaining. He's in the high-powered racing Ford, and that is a sweet-looking HPR scheme. I love the black and silver there. It looks really good on the number 11.
It does. That is a great-looking scheme.
Well, Kane, here we are, 19 laps in. A lot of guys opted to go early on the pit stop. We saw Marty Carroll start the trend at lap 10. I mentioned the latest we should see somebody stay out is lap 22 to 23. That's so risky to stay out to 23. It is 22 is about all you can squeeze when you're racing like these guys are. Have we seen everybody go in except for our leader, I think?
No, we've got Marlon stayed out, Michael Fulcher stayed out, and Stuart Dent. And then that's it.
Well, Stuart Dent, when he goes in, is going to have to get a dent repaired. It's in the hood of his car. It's slightly lifted. Tiny bit of damage to the splitter on the front end, but other than that, the car looks just fine. But I'm sure will be interesting to see when these guys do go in. They're going to be getting low on fuel pretty soon.
Yeah, they've got to be feeling it now, especially on the tires with the track being as hot as it is. You would think that the tires would be getting a little slippery.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to keep an eye on. Our leader right now, the Good Game Ford Falcon, the Uno machine right there, number 1, looking good right now. John Emerson doing a fantastic job. Currently just started his 20th lap here at Road Atlanta. Be fun to see when he decides to go in for that pit, and if it will start a trend from the others that decided to stay out as well. Marlon McMullen has fallen to about a 5-second deficit from John Emerson at the moment, and hoping that maybe he can make up a lot of time in the pits. We've seen it before, and I'm telling you what, you have to be extremely careful in these pit stop races, because pit stops can ruin your race. I was watching a real world race, even though it was an oval race, Kane. I saw literally a leader who was dominating actually I'll just say Brad Keselowski was dominating the Sprint Unlimited race, and he had a speeding on pit road penalty and had to do a drive-through, and it ruined the race. I mean, just like that. So these pit stops that remain for first, second, third, and fourth place drivers is very, very important. And he does not go. John Emerson does stay out, as Marlon J. McMullen does the same. Let's see Michael Fulcher, what he shall decide in just a moment in the KRT. And he's going up through the hill. It'll be deciding to see if he decides to pull in on lap 20. He does not. He does. He does pull in. And so there goes Michael Fulcher pulling in, and we'll check on Stuart Dent in just a moment to see if he goes in on lap 20 as well. And actually, Stuart Dent will decide to stay out for another lap, and we'll head back up and check on the leader. He's got to be getting low on fuel now, buddy. Like I said, that lap 22 is going to be about the furthest they push it. I'll be very surprised if we see him go in on lap 23. John Emerson has taken the lead over Marlon McMullen. It has exceeded 5 seconds. It's almost 5.5 seconds, almost. And here we are on his 21st lap of the race, 21 of 35, guys. And let's see if the Good Game Ford Falcon pits. Kane, he's staying out. He's going to push it to that 22 mark. And I'm going to be shocked if he stays out again. It's got to be getting low in there. Marlon McMullen decides not to risk it. He will go in for fuel and fresh tires. Right now, Marlon McMullen doing a fantastic job getting the car to the box. And we'll get a little check on that time. Little slow getting in the box, but doesn't overshoot it or anything. So very safe, conservative stop for Marlon. And he is in and waiting on the crew to get done to push him back out. Here's Stuart Dent in the Xbox One Ford. He is pulling in as well. And now we have Marlon J. McMullen coming out of the pits. He's going to try to pull out in front of Mark Anderson in the 4th position to stay in 3rd. And Marlon McMullen makes his way out, and he will be back in 2nd for the moment. Looking at leader John Emerson, he has seriously got a big lead now. Kane, he's the last car to pit. He's still in the lead, and he is not going to pit again. He will go to try to push it to a 23rd lap. This is extremely cool. He has saved a little bit of fuel, I guess, Kane, because he's got to pit this 23rd lap.
Yeah, John Emerson is kind of known for his ability to save fuel, so he's definitely one of the kings of fuel saving. But he's still turning pretty good times.
He's turning unbelievable times. 122.29. That is extremely fast. And like I said, the car is lighter when you work it, get the fuel out. And now another advantage for John, and he already knows this, he doesn't have to put as much fuel in, so he should have a quicker pit stop than the other guys did. He will not have to put nearly as much fuel. I'm sure he'll want to get new tires, though. I don't know what the tire situation is. I would imagine with what Kane brought up earlier, saying that the temperature is up, Kane has an extremely good point. The wear will come off the tires a lot faster. They don't get quite as much grip in the hotter conditions on the track. So I'm sure John will want new tires, but we'll find out all this stuff as he is heading through the chicane here over the hill, and we should see him veer to the right for a pit. Kane, he's going to go for a 24th lap.
A little bit further in the pack, we got Kurt Stenberg giving Nigel Baines a run for his money. Filling Nigel's mirror is the Orange Daco Ford Falcon of Kurt Stenberg.
Boy, this is a fantastic battle right now. This battle is for the 5th position, and Kurt Stenberg, we've seen mighty fast. He's going to get right on the bumper of Nigel Baines. Nigel currently able to hold the position, but right now we see Kurt Stenberg trying to really utilize that draft on this straightaway to try to get a little bit of a air pocket there to move in. And Nigel doing a fantastic. Nigel got a great jump off of that turn 7, Kane. He is looking really good right now. He'll get to the bottom of the hill to hit the chicane on the brakes just fine. Everybody making it really nice through that chicane. Very good speed through the mid corner, over the top of the hill, swinging right-hander. Oh man, both these cars looking great. They're putting on a clinic on the just textbook driving right now.
Yeah, Nigel Bain is such a cool and collected driver. Yeah, he's a very technical driver, and he just can hit the curbs just right, follows every apex just the way it was meant to be followed, and he can really pick up a lot of time just by being so technical and calm through these races. I don't know if he looks in his rearview mirror or not, but seems like he just don't get shook up by someone being on his bumper.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you what, I'm amazed at John Emerson right now. He has a 42.5-second lead over everybody because he still hasn't pit. He's on lap 25 right now. And wow, I'm just amazed at how he is driving. Last lap, how about a 122.19, Kane? He's getting extremely fast. The tire wear is not an issue. The car is definitely light as it's almost out of fuel. So he is just flying around this track with a lighter car. And it's definitely a humongous advantage, I think. A lot of people think when you pit earlier it's a bigger advantage. I think John Emerson just rewrote the book on that.
Yeah, he's definitely doing a fantastic job of maintaining his lead and maintaining his lap times. Even on some, he seems to be doing a great job with his lap times, and his tires have got to be, you would think, would definitely be showing a lot of wear. There he goes, ducks in.
I was about to say, if he goes another lap, I would be worried about him going bone dry, man. But he's going to make it in there just fine. Even if he's out now, he can coast in at this point. Let's check and make sure he gets a great stop, as this is the race on the line on this stop. And of course, you know, him being the pole sitter, he gets that front pit stall. And so far, so good on the pit. It's all going to be up to the pit crew to see the time that he will escape. And what I'm going to be interested is, wow, he's already away. And obviously, he didn't have to put as much fuel in as the other drivers did earlier. But the big thing now is what kind of advantage will he have from Marlon J. McMullen back in second place? It looks like his pit stop has gained him quite a bit of time since compared to, what were they, a little over 5.5 seconds before the pit stops, Kane?
Yeah, they were almost 6 seconds, so
we'll check it. What's the differential at this point?
9.5.
So how about that? How about about a little over a 4-second advantage on pit stops? That's outlap, inlap, outlap, pit stop, and half of an outlap right there, and that is extremely impressive by the good game Ford Falcon of John Emerson. He came out, won the very first race at Mosport this season, and here he is at Road Atlanta, just doing it again, just really doing a fantastic job here at Road Atlanta. And right now on lap 26 of 35, we have, what is that, 9 to go, Kane?
Sounds good. We're at 9 to go. That's right.
9 to go here at Road Atlanta, and I'm going to do a quick rundown of how they run at 9 to go. John Emerson in the lead with Marlon McMullen in second. Mark Anderson is in the final podium position of third with Corey Preston back in fourth. Nigel Baines is in fifth place with Kurt Stenberg back in sixth. Michael Schrader right on the bumper of Kurt Stenberg. He's in seventh. Jake Burton in eighth. Ninth is Michael Fulcher with Marty Carroll rounding out our top 10 drivers. And then back in 11th is currently the Xbox One Ford of Stuart Dent. And then Chris Bowen is...
Michael Schrader gets a little off track there and really cost him a lot of time.
Oh, man, tough break for him right there. I was going to let you guys know Chris Bowen is in the garage area and done for the day. He is in 12th, and of course you guys all know Dale Niche had an early race exit as well. That rounds out our 13-car field.
Yeah, I didn't get to see what happened to Chris Bean either. Tough break for Chris as he's having a pretty decent race there.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there either. Man, Marlon J. McMullen trying to drive the wheels off of the Dayco Golden Black Ford Falcon. He's trying to get below that 8, and it's all right at 9-second gap. And let's see, no, it actually will increase back to 9.3 instead of the 8.9 at the start of the previous lap. So here on lap 28, John Emerson is heading towards a victory here at Road Atlanta as long as he can keep up these really fast laps. Now, his last lap was almost a second slower than he was earlier, at least 0.8 as he ran an 122.83. So he was down in the 122.1s earlier. And that just shows how that full tank of fuel, or at least the more that he put in there, I'm sure he at least put enough to get him to the end, obviously. So he doesn't probably have a full tank, but he has at least probably a quarter of a tank in there.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got enough to get to the end.
Right now, Mark Anderson has some big pressure put on by the high-powered racing Ford Falcon of Corey Preston in the number 6 car. Really wants to get back up into that third position. Corey Preston had a phenomenal start to the race, got out, led the first lap of the race, and actually the first couple before being overtaken by John Emerson and Marlon McMullen. Then he held the third position for quite a while, and now Mark Anderson has taken that position from him of the Kamikaze Racing team. And here late stages of the race, Corey Preston would love to get this podium here at Road Atlanta and do just like he did last week at the Glen.
He is definitely working hard on it. He's pushing hard. You can tell that that's exactly what he wants. He wants to get in that third position and get his podium, because he knows he had such a great start. But it's still a great race for Corey. I mean, the way his season started, these last 2 weeks have been excellent races for Corey. You're finishing up at the top of the field like this.
Well, Jake Burton, we saw him earlier break away from the little battle he had with Michael Fulcher, but Michael Fulcher starting to catch back up. Another big one is Nigel Baines. He was riding solo for quite some time, Kane, and now he has company again from Kurt Stenberg. He broke away, but now Kurt Stenberg starting to head a little bit closer to him in his Dayco Ford. Also, Michael Schrader is also a threat in the Darrell Lee number 4 machine right there. He's becoming a threat as well back in 7th. Right now, Marty Carroll rounds out the top 10, and he's trying to hold on to that. Really no pressure from Stuart Dent at the moment. Stuart Dent's about 11 seconds behind him, but you never know. And of course, in front of Marty Carroll is Michael Fulcher, and we've already talked about that battle with him and Jake Burton. So really cars 4 through, or excuse me, we'll say 5. Well, no, I can throw in. I'll just say, how about this? Cars 5 through 9 having a really good battle right now for position. And then, of course, the Corey Preston and Mark Anderson battle. And how about Corey Preston takes his podium spot back for the moment here on lap 30 of 35. Kane, the high-powered Racing Falcon, has done it for the moment. He has Mark D. Anderson on his tail now. Will Mark be able to get back up into the podium spot, or will Corey Preston reign where he started, or go back to what he started to do earlier and hold down another podium for back-to-back weeks? This is going to be fun.
Yeah, great job to Corey. He really was putting the pressure on there, and you could tell he wanted it, and he reached in there and grabbed it. So great job to Corey for getting his podium back, and got a few laps left to go here, 6 laps to go. We'll see how the race finishes out for him.
He said, they ripped out my heart, threw it on the floor, stomped on it, and he just picked it up and stuffed it right back in, buddy. He is not going to give up. He is pushing his way up to this podium for back-to-back weeks. Very impressive for Corey Preston.
Back in 6th, we got Kurt Stenberg still putting that pressure on Nigel Baines.
Well, I tell you what, as fast as Kurt Stenberg is, Nigel Baines has been the Iceman. He has let nothing get to him. His veins have been cold like the blue SDC Motorsports machine he drives. He has literally not let any of this pressure get to him. In fact, Kurt, we saw this situation about 10 laps ago, and Nigel had that really great run out of 7 and was able to really put a gap back in between them. But now here comes Stenny again as he is on his way back up to try to make a move around Nigel Baines. Will he try to get out of the air draft in a moment to try to make a pass? Here you see him heading into turn 6, and then the most crucial turn on the track as far as for speed. Here it is, the very important turn 7. Looks like Nigel gets a great turn out of 7. Will he put a gap in between, or will we see Kurt Stenberg be able to get out of the draft and make a pass for the top 5?
You know, Nigel got that speed coming out of there like he normally does. He just gets out of that turn just a little bit better than Corey. Corey finally can get caught up toward the end of the straightaway because of the draft, and then can be back on his bumper going into the S's here.
Yeah, old Kurt Stenberg doing a good job right now trying to hang with Nigel. He's doing a fantastic job over the top of the hill and making their way down towards the start-finish line. For the moment, Nigel is safe, but he's got a lot of pressure. On the other hand, Corey Preston still holding down the podium as he has Mark Anderson still really close on his tail as well. The KRT machine trying to catch the HPR machine, and this is really close heading through the S's section right now. We talked pre-race about this being a potential pass zone. It has not been true for these V8 supercars today here in the V8 Supercar Americas race, and this has been a fantastic race. We've seen flawless driving almost from both Corey Preston and Mark Anderson, other than Corey's connection issue at the beginning that kind of cost him the lead, I think, Kane. He's been doing a fantastic job since everything's come back, and look at him right here in 3rd. He has actually put some space in between him and Corey Preston. I say we go back and check on Kurt Stenberg and Nigel Baines. There they are again, still battling bumper to bumper here on lap 32 of 35.
Yeah, Nigel Baines still cold as ice, just don't even seem like he's aware that Kurt's back there. He's just driving such a great race, and Kurt's too. All these drivers doing such a good job today on this track.
Yeah, the number 7 SDC Motorsports, Nigel Baines, doing a fantastic job, not letting the Dayco Ford give him any type of intimidation at this point. And Kurt Stenberg making sure that bright orange and black Dayco Ford stays in that rear view mirror of the SDC Motorsport Falcon of Nigel Baines. This is very fun as we get down to lap 33 of 35. Let's run through it real quick one more time. John Emerson leads this race with Marlon McMullen 8 seconds behind in 2nd. Corey Preston in the final podium spot with a Mark Anderson. right on his tail. Nigel Baines in the 5th position with the closest battle on the track. Kurt Stenberg in 6th. Michael Schreier in the Darrell Lee Ford not far behind in 7th with Jake Burton in P8. 9th position is going right now to Michael Fulcher, but he is caught up to Jake Burton, and this is going to be a battle for 8th in just a second. Marty Carroll back in 10th in the SDC Motorsport Ford Falcon. Also, Stuart Dent is rocking the Xbox One Ford Falcon back in 11th. We talked about Chris Bean and Dale Niche both in the garage. Their days are complete. This is it, lap 34-35. This time when John Emerson rides by, the white flag will be out. So far, this is John Emerson's race.
Yeah, and it's been a flawless race too for him. He's really done such a super job of getting out front and just pulling away.
Oh man, we got side-by-side racing right now as Kurt Stenberg's getting passed at the moment and does get passed by Michael Schreier in the Darrell Lee Ford now. And now he's trying to make a pass on Marty Carroll. Well, we have some contact from Kurt Stenberg in the back. That could have been very, very, very detrimental to everybody's race in that area. Scary moment. And that was an outstanding job by the Darrell Lee Ford Falcon of Michael Schreier. He kind of snuck in there, Kane. That was very, very impressive. And he almost got Nigel Baines as well, but Nigel did a phenomenal job and did not let that get to him. He stayed just, I'm telling you, I'm going to start calling Nigel the Iceman. He just won't let nobody get to him here. And here going through turn 6, who will get through turn 7 better? Right now, the Marsden Motorsport, Team SDC, Nigel Baines gets a phenomenal jump, and heading back, we are going to be, the white flag is out as John Emerson starts the 35th and final lap here at Road Atlanta in Braselton, Georgia. This is what Week 4 action is all about at the V8 Supercar America Series, Kane.
Yeah, John Emerson had 9.1 second lead over reigning champion Marlon McMullen, so great job to John Emerson for pulling away like that. Now going back to the Nigel Baines battle, he has managed to pull away from Kurt Stenberg, who has taken his spot back, and we managed to miss it being up at the front with John Emerson, but yeah, Stenny has taken the spot back from Michael Schreier.
Wow, very, very impressive by old Stenny there as he makes the pass past the Darrell Lee machine. And I don't think this one's over on the final lap as they're going through the S's, but right now, I wanted to just throw a quick congratulations out, making his way down the final. He's got one more big downhill and a chicane, and then a big swooping right-hander, and he will win this Week 4. We'll check back in just a second. I'm looking at the Good Game Ford Falcon making his way through the final chicane here at Road Atlanta, over the top of the hill. One more turn to go, and he will be Week 4's winner, and he does a power slide to the end to win here at Road Atlanta. Congratulations, John Emerson.
Yeah, that was a little scary there, but great power slide by John Emerson.
In second, Marlon J. McMullen comes across no problem now. Bumper to bumper, Corey Preston in the HPR Ford will get his podium position with Mark Anderson finishing really closely in 4th. Now here comes Nigel Baines and Kurt Stenberg. This battle has been phenomenal, and there he is. Nigel Baines rounds out our top 5 with Kurt Stenberg in 6th. How about Michael Schreier in 6th? And in 8th place will go to Jake Burton with Michael Fulcher in 9th. Here comes Marty Carroll finishing and rounding out a top 10 finish for Team SDC. Fantastic job by those guys. Also making his way towards the end is the Xbox One Ford Falcon, and the final running car in the race today, the number 10 of Stuart Dent. And what a week here in Week 4, buddy. This was fantastic racing by our 13-car field.
Yeah, God, that was such a great race. John Emerson got such a great lead, jump and lead in that race, and just kind of left everybody in the dust. But great job to all the rest of the guys for running such a good, clean race. Pretty exciting all the way through the field tonight. Just excellent racing. Road Atlanta might just become one of my favorite tracks for good, close racing.
Yeah, that was very impressive. Hometown track here. I love it to death. It's so fun to watch. If you look at it from the sky, the track looks like a big T-bone steak, but man, it is just it's prime meat when you talk about road course racing, buddy. I love it. is so fun, and we saw that here today. I think that Road Atlanta in real world racing should try to grab just a couple more big name series races. I'd love to see the V8s in real life come race here just one time. I think it would be just as great as what we just saw, Kane. John Emerson in victory circle. What a fantastic job by the Good Game Falcon. He came in here and totally rocked it. He said LOL, nearly bend it in the last corner. He sure did, but it looked cool with the power slide to the finish. And then,
he about bit the dust, but he recollected it and made it across the finish line. So great job for making it look cool anyway, even though he did about lose it.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty good stuff, and but we definitely want to congratulate him on a win there. Also, Marlon McMullen. Couldn't talk about him enough either. Did a really fantastic job in his Dayco Ford to finish in the second spot, and then of course the final spot.
Yeah,
Falcon driver Corey Preston, buddy, that was outstanding. Lost his position, got it back, lost it, got it back. He had connection issues. He led part of the race. What a job by the HPR driver. Very impressive here.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great job by Corey. Like I said, he started off kind of rocky in the series, but he's found something now, and he's really been doing good these last couple weeks. So, good job to Corey Preston.
Well, it's that time. Let's see if we can maybe catch a word here with the second place finisher in the race, driver of the Dayco Ford Falcon, Marlon McMullen. Marlon, what a fantastic race. Battling for the lead there for a long time with John Emerson. In the end, though, John was just a little bit faster today and was able to run off to a victory. But a fantastic race for you, finishing second here at Road Atlanta, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, hey guys, how are we going? Anyway, good race. It was a really good race against John and Corey. Corey had a sensational start, and he actually pipped John on the start, which I was shocked by, and then John put as much pressure on him as he could, and yeah, he did really well, Corey. And then eventually John had a run onto him in the last corner, and then I saw my little opportunity and snuck it up the inside and used all the exit speed I could out of the corner, and yeah, took advantage of Corey's little bit of a mishap with John. And then, yeah, just pushing on there with John, and he's just too quick. Not much I could do, but now really happy to finish under 20 seconds behind him for once, so it's a bit better.
It really was very impressive, buddy. That was definitely a great race, and you're doing great, buddy. We talked about the rocky start this season with a very rough start there at Mosport at the beginning of the year, and then we were absent from week 2, but then coming in strong at the Glen last week in week 3, and then here in week 4, a second place finish. So doing what you have to do. It's awesome. You're defending the title just awesomely. I know you're ready to get back in, get the wins going again, though, buddy. And you're getting as close as you can without winning it. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, consistency is key at the end of the day. I mean, it's a long championship, so I mean, as long as I'm up at the pointy end and getting as much points as possible. And Chad was unfortunately not here this week, so he'll take one of his drop rounds, and just got to utilise what I can and capitalise when I can get the opportunities.
Pretty good points tonight. 197 points out of the race tonight for second place, so that's a pretty good points haul.
And we head off to Montreal next week, and Marlon, obviously Montreal brings back great memories for you. That's the final race of last season where you ended up winning the championship, so I'm sure you'll be happy to head back there and have another good result there, bud.
Yeah, most definitely. It's another track that suits my driving style. I mean, I love the aggressive sort of tracks where you got to use the curbs and a little bit more of as much as you can really of the track and the circuit. So we'll see how we go next week. I mean, it's a sprint round, so it's all about qualifying.
Absolutely. And we need to probably try to find a way, talk to everybody in the V8s Americas and try to get a actual qualifying session that everybody will do right before our broadcast. Maybe we can start getting it in the broadcast as well, like they do over in the Australian show they do. I think that would be fun. We just have to talk to all the drivers and get them all to commit, and that would be really fun.
Yeah, it'd be something different. I mean, there might be a little bit of issue where it may separate us geographically. I mean, because Tobias is one of our teammates. He's from Germany, so
Yeah,
hopefully they
that's
put
what
them
they
all
did
together.
today.
But
They
yeah,
they put the two Americans in their own server and you Aussies in your own server. So that's the issue we've had with it. Why we haven't done it in the past is the server split that they do. So we usually just do a bunch of talking at the beginning and then go into the race.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe we can figure something out at one point. But thanks again for talking with us, Marlon, and congratulations on a fantastic job, buddy.
yeah, no problem, guys. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you next week at Montreal.
Absolutely, buddy. And that is Marlon McMullen, everybody, driver of the Dayco Ford Falcon. Another fantastic job by Marlon here this week. And next, I want to get in here a guy who had a fantastic race. I've almost got him a new nickname. If he'll keep it up for another week, man, you're the new Iceman there, Nigel. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, JD. Kane, how are you guys?
Oh, doing fantastic, buddy. You did a really great job tonight, man, of not letting any pressure get to you at all. Old Stenberg back there was pretty fast, and he worked his way up to you twice, and both times you never let it get to you. In fact, the first time you just kind of let him hang right there on your bumper, and then you gained some time back. So it was really impressive racing tonight for the SDC Motorsports.
Yeah, it was a tense one. I didn't really get a breather all race. Kind of made a slight mistake on the start. Left it in fourth gear up the hill, and Fulcher out dragged me. And I think I could have stayed with Mark Anderson and Corey, well, Marlon, and that for a few laps at least. So kicking myself, but yeah, just pressure the whole way. How I didn't do something really bad, I don't know, but so glad to hold on. Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, you did a fantastic job there, buddy. Finished right there in the top 5. Great job here at Road Atlanta. We head off to Montreal next week, and I know that's got to be one of your favorites, right, buddy?
Yeah, I seem to have had some pretty good results there. I'm not a big fan of it for the obvious reasons that I'm sure other guys have spoke of, but yeah, we'll try and get a decent quali in, because quali is pretty key in these races with everybody being so closely matched. And as you saw tonight, I guess it's so tough to pass. Even with a long straight here at Road Atlanta, it's pretty tough to make that pass. So yeah, hopefully get a good quali in, and if we go to pit again, I'll try and make sure I hit my box and not drive past it. So
that's right, buddy.
Oh, man.
It's all right. Well, like I said, congratulations on the top 5, and definitely best of luck to you at Montreal next week, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, JD, Kane, and great job again with the broadcast, guys. It's awesome.
Thanks a lot, buddy. And that is Nigel Baines, everybody, driver of the SDC Motorsport Ford Falcon. Another great performance for him. And next, I tell you what, let's go ahead and bring in guy from the HPR team. Had a fantastic drive here at Road Atlanta. Finished in the 3rd position, Corey Preston. Corey, how you doing here today, bud?
Pretty good.
Man, I hope you're doing good. You had a fantastic race, buddy. You led a couple laps there, and looked like you might have had a small connection issue at the beginning of the race. We kind of were worried about it for a moment, and then it straightened out. But then it looked like maybe you and John Emerson might have had something happen, because we saw you, next time we saw you, you had kind of slipped back to 3rd right behind Marlon there.
No, good racing with John Emerson there for the first couple of laps, and then he kept getting the run on me down the straight. Only I'd sort of park my car near the middle of the road, so he'd fall back in behind. But going up the hill one lap, he got the good drive out of the corner, and down the inside at the last corner, and it bogged down in 5th, and then Marlon got past.
Well, it definitely paid off in the long run. Obviously, I'm sure you wanted to stay up there in 1st, but very impressed with your driving again, Corey. This is 2 really great weeks in a row, 2 podiums in a row, buddy, and that's got to be a feel good job right there, man.
Yeah, it is. Like, I got the start, and then I just did what I always normally do, and yeah, to have John Emerson behind me, it's sort of a big confidence boost until he comes right up behind you and starts pressuring you. then it's not so good. But yeah, the race wasn't without incident though. I had oh, hang on. I think there was two incidences where my race could have been over right there and then. One I think you probably saw going down the S's, and then the other one coming into pit lane. I nearly brought the rear of the car into the concrete.
Well, we're really glad that everything was able to stay together tonight, and a great race for the HPR, buddy. That was really good, Corey. Best of luck to you as we head to Montreal next week, pal. Thanks again for coming by and talking with us. It's always a pleasure, man. I will be looking for you to get another podium next week at Montreal, man, to keep up this good run.
Thanks, JD. I want to congratulate John Emerson on his win, if he's watching this at a later time, and Marlon, good racing, and Mark D. Anderson, brilliant racing. And as always, guys, well, I'm getting my words mixed up here, but yeah, well done on the broadcast. I'll have to go and watch it.
Oh, thanks a lot, buddy. Make sure you go check it out. And look, yeah, if John Emerson's watching the broadcast, make sure that you come by and have a chat with us after the race next time. We definitely want to talk to the winner of the race as well. But Corey, man, thank you so much for coming by. It's always a pleasure talking to you after the race, buddy. And we're really enjoying, I know Kane is too, really enjoying watching you keep getting better and better each race.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate your kind words, and yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, that is the driver of the HPR Ford Falcon, Corey Preston, put down another podium performance. This is 2 weeks in a row, and very, very impressive job by him. And so I'm proud of him, man. That was really well. Next, I want to get in here
great
a guy
job,
that.
Corey.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. And next, I want to get in here a guy that almost caught up to Nigel up there in fifth. In fact, he had a really great battle as well with the Darrell Lee Ford right there for quite some time. He lost his position, then got it right back, and that was Kurt Stenberg. Kurt, what a fantastic race and a good show right there at the end of the race, bud.
Yeah, that was great. I didn't think I'd get Michael back after he got me around the outside there, but somehow I managed to do it. It was, really close racing with Nigel and Michael, a lot of pressure to not go off.
That's right. I'm telling you what, man, it was like me and Kane were watching you, and we saw Michael Schrayer get the pass, and we were like, oh, man. And then we literally looked away for 1 second. When we popped back, you were passing again. We were like, whoa, there he goes again. He's already back, got it back. So that was awesome, man. Never give up, and that's a good attitude to have right there. That was a really great race right there for you. Kurt, we see you get faster every week. It seems like you always have the Dayco Ford just flying every week. And so best of luck to you as we head to Montreal next week, my friend. That's going to be a big track for qualifying, it sounds like. We already know about the penalties that can really be crucial there. The corner cutting is very serious at Montreal. So be careful out there, buddy, and best of luck to you next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And anybody you want to thank before you get out of here, buddy?
Yeah, I'll just thank my teammate who didn't take me out this morning, and Powerboy and Dayco.
Sounds great, man. Thanks for coming by and chatting with us, Kurt. Until next week, buddy, have a good one.
Yeah, see yous.
All righty, and that is Kurt Stenberg, everybody, driver of the Dayco Ford Falcon. And Kane, he had a really great week as well. That was fun watching him. That was very, very impressive.
Yeah, he's had a lot of great battles this season. It seems like every race he's in, he's battling for position, and he's really putting the pressure on. We're going to see him really become one of those podium drivers that are just always racing for the podium before too long. He just keeps getting faster and faster.
I really believe you're really right. I mean, just definitely hit the nail on the head on that one. He's heading for that direction fast. Next, I want to get in here a good friend of ours, a member of Team SDC, got another top 10 finish here. How about Marty Carroll adding another top 10 to the resume? Marty, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Could be better, fellas. Battling the flu all week, so unfortunately my pace was a little off for the race today, and yeah. So, but pretty happy with how the team performed with Nigel picking up 5th place.
Boy, man, you sound definitely under the weather. I hate to hear that, but how about that performance with driving with the flu? Very impressive. Most guys would have not even been able to sit in the rig this evening and race through an illness. So, man, that's very impressive, Marty. And we won't keep you long knowing that you're not feeling up to par today. But, man, get well soon, and we'll talk at you next week at Montreal, buddy.
Yeah, no, thanks very much, guys, and awesome job with the broadcast once again.
Oh, thanks a lot. And Marty, you're also driving more than just, of course, the V8's America Series. You're also trying your luck over on the oval side and in the GT3 Series as well, right?
Yeah, I'm at the moment I'm trying to build myself up to have a crack with the NIS series. So I'm concentrating on the oval side, and yeah, the GT3s are a bit of fun. So I'm enjoying them at Brands Hatch this week.
It's awesome, buddy. Best of luck to you. Always a pleasure talking to you, good friend. And take care. Get well soon, man.
Thank you again, guys.
Alrighty, and
Take
that
care of
is
yourself, Marty.
that
Get well
is.
soon, because I definitely know how it is to be feeling sick. Sorry, JD, keep interrupting.
No, you're
there.
good, buddy.
Yeah, it was quite difficult. I tried to use a bit of strategy to sort of leapfrog a few guys tonight, and when I sort of couldn't quite get there, I just sort of backed off at the end there.
A top 10 in the points is definitely not a slouch, buddy. That'll help you out. Top 10s always help. So get well soon, buddy. And for being sick, you couldn't ask for a better result. Really, I mean, I'm surprised that you did that well, or feeling like that. So the flu is killer, and everybody knows it. So get well, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, fellas.
All right, man. Poor Marty right there sounds a bit under the weather, as you guys can hear, and fantastic performance by him tonight, considering.
Well, let's talk to Michael Fulcher. He's had a couple really great weeks these last couple weeks. Michael Fulcher is definitely a driver that we've got to be on the lookout for, because he is just on fire here lately.
Yeah, him and his teammate Mark Anderson, both of the Kamikaze Racing Team drivers. Michael, how you doing out there, buddy?
G'day, fellas. Yeah, doing good. Now I've wiped all the sweat away.
How about that for an afternoon of driving here at Road Atlanta, the hometown track? It's always one of my favorites. You get out of here with a 9th place finish here at Road America. Had a fun battle with Jake Burton for quite some time, and I thought you were going to get back up there and possibly catch him again and get the Dayco forward, but he just was able to finish one spot ahead of you. But it's really good finish here with a top 10 at Road Atlanta, buddy. You got to feel good, like Kane said when you were getting in here. Just keep improving each week, man, and seem to be on fire here of late.
Yeah, I've been putting a fair bit of time in and finding some decent setups. And I'll tell you what, that was so intense though. I think I was fighting for sixth position with Kurt. One little mistake and two cars got to get me like that, you know. And it was only a little mistake. And I'm fighting for 8th and 9th again. And it was about 2 laps to go. I thought, yeah, I can do it. I can probably get Jake if I keep the pressure on. And my second little mistake, I dropped back about a second behind him with 2 laps to go. So, yeah, it was hard work from there. But great race.
Yeah, it don't take much of a mistake with these guys, man. It seems like just a split second of a mistake, and yeah, falling down quite a bit. But you have had a couple good weeks now. Last week's broadcast race, you didn't finish the race, but the day before on Thursday night, you and your teammate ended up winning the top split race. So that was fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. That was our first team podium together, actually. Doing in the first and second position. We're really happy with that. It didn't matter who won first and second. They got to be happy with that.
Absolutely, buddy, and thanks again for coming by and chatting with us. Anybody you want to thank before you get out of here, buddy?
without mentioning any names, we've had a little bit of help this season, and that person knows who he is, and I'd like to thank him very much for his help.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, thanks again for coming and having a chat with us, Michael. We sure do appreciate you coming and talking with us, buddy.
No worries. Thanks for your broadcast, guys. I'm going to go and watch it now. See you next week.
Absolutely, buddy. And that is Michael Fulcher, ladies and gentlemen, one of the Kamikaze Racing team drivers. Him and his teammate, Mark Anderson, doing a fantastic job this season, and definitely seem to be improving each week. And so that's been awesome to see as well. Next, we want to get Jake Burton in here and have a word with him. He had a really great race tonight as well. Jake had a battle with, we just talked with him, got through talking with old Michael Fulcher, and broke away to finish up in 8th position. A great job. Jake, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm just happy to have another clean, good fun America's race.
Man, I'm telling you, it was another great, clean race. That was a really fun race to watch. Road Atlanta did us proud. It gave us a lot of good battles to watch, a lot of close, clean action, and that's all we can ask for. It looked like you were having a lot of fun down there tonight.
Yeah, I was. It was awesome fun, and you always do have a lot of fun with those kind of guys. I mean, the 5 of us had a lot of respect for each other, and we were all giving each other room, etc. And I tried a bit of a last lap move on Michael Schreier, but didn't quite pull it off. But still awesome, nice and clean, which is what we wanted. So.
Hey, that's right. That's all we can ask for, and it's very exciting. You know, we're going to head off to Montreal next week. Montreal has been known to be the evil corner-cutting course in the V8 series here at the V8 Americas. So I hope it'll be a good one for you, buddy. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to have to do to keep away from getting those slowdown penalties next week.
I think it's just about making sure you do enough practice to learn how to hit those curbs without getting in trouble for it. So that's what I learned last season, and got a couple slowdowns in the main race last season, so I'm hoping to prevent that this season.
You're not the only one. It's definitely every single driver. That's kind of, the drivers hate it, but from watching it in a broadcast point of view, it's kind of fun to watch because you never know. Somebody could have a 4-second lead, and then they get to slow down, and that they're right back there with a battle again. So it's just really fun track to watch. Some really close racing on as well. So best of luck to you at Montreal next week, buddy. Anybody you want to thank before you get out of here?
Of course, I'd just love to thank Tobias and Marlon and Stenny for putting together a great race package for us this week, and the team, Powerbond, Dayco, Newlex, Newline, and Backyard Grannies. So thanks to the team.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, best of luck to you, Jake, and thanks so much for coming and having a chat with us here on the show, buddy. And best of luck to you next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy. That is Jake Burton there, Kane, driver of the Dayco Ford Falcon, and what a phenomenal race he had as well.
Yeah, everybody did. Everybody really had a great race tonight. There was Crispian and Dale Niche that dropped out a little early, but aside from those two that didn't finish, every single driver on the track had such a great race. It was impressive to watch.
It really was, and I truly enjoyed it. Once again, congratulations, John Emerson. A fantastic race by him. And like we said, he's no stranger to winning. He really did it there. And Marlon McMullen gave it his all there, and almost, he finished a good ways behind in second, but a fantastic run by Marlon and Corey Preston. Really all the top 5 drivers were outstanding, and then the top 10 were unbelievable. They put down just a great race for us to watch. I was very, very impressed with the action that we had here today. I'm really excited to take it to Montreal next week. It's kind of a similar track to Road Atlanta when you think of just the style of racing that we'll see there. It'll be very similar, and it's like we said, it is one of those tracks that drivers tend to dislike because of the intense rules there. They're very strict on the corner cutting there. You can literally just barely hit a a curb wrong, and next thing you know, you have to come to a complete stop. It's just extremely dangerous for the drivers as far as the slowdowns. And not only that, they're so intense, Kane. They literally make you come to a complete stop sometimes for 3 seconds or more, and that's just way too harsh that a lot of drivers think. So
yeah, it's
it'll
just
be
that
fun
that
to
last
see.
corner is just kind of pretty close to the start-finish line, and so you got to clear that before you get to the finish line, and so that's what makes you kind of have to almost come to a complete stop. Most of the others you can slow down pretty good because you don't have nothing. You don't got the start-finish line right there, but with that last chicane, you got the starting line coming right up, and you've got to clear it before then, so it forces most people to just come to almost to a complete stop because it's a 3-second penalty on that one.
It's very, very crucial. But anyways, that'll be really fun, and
It is, because that track does lend to some really great racing. Aside from the slowdown penalties, we've seen some great racing last time we were there, so I'm excited to get back to Montreal because it really was some excellent racing.
I am too. It was a great way to end our 2013 Season 4 season. It was just unbelievable. That's where we saw Marlon J. McMullen be crowned as the V8 Supercar America's champion, and I'm sure that he can't wait to get back there as he has some great memories from there. And we'll be there next Friday evening in America time on the Eastern time. The races start at 9:15. You can always look for V8s Online to be logging in and getting live somewhere usually around 9 o'clock. Sometimes we actually will even start a little earlier when we have a nice big pre-race show to get things kicked off. And once again, I want to let everybody know that we are presented in glorious HD by Direct Clutch Services, V8's online superstore, and of course the V8 Supercar fan group. And Kane, any last things we want to get out before we head on?
No, just keep your eyes peeled to all the rest of the V8's online broadcasts, and make sure you're supporting all the rest of our series, and we'll see you next week at Montreal.
That sounds great, buddy. Until then, everybody have a great night. Contact free. Close. Contact free.
Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship